Hi, I'm Jami Philbrick for iamROGUE.com. I'm here in San Diego at Comic-Con International 2014, and I had a chance to talk to director Rob Letterman about his new film, Goosebumps. The movie is based on the popular series of books by R.L. Stine and stars Jack Black as the author. Here's what Rob had to say about the new movie. Just wanted to begin by asking about the concept, the sort of meta concept of the film of bringing R.L. Stine in as a character, having Jack play it, as opposed to adapting one of the books.
Well, that was the concept that they had before I came on. That was what was in development at the studio, and they figured out that take of, rather than, picking one of the stories from the anthology, why not figure out, a bigger movie event idea and the conceit of R.L. Stine being a character in the film and his imagination actually manifesting into reality, and what would happen if all his creatures came to life and you had to put them back in the box. And so that was the concept when I came on, and it was awesome. I mean, that's why I kind of took to the project and fought really hard to get the job. It was very cool.
Were you attracted to that idea more than as opposed to doing an adaptation of one of the books?
I was. It was never, I never had the opportunity to even, think about doing one of the books. That was always in play. So I gravitated to it instantly because I love those kinds of movies, and I love the challenge of trying to figure out how to deal with just an army of these things coming to life. I thought that was really great, and I love these old movies from my childhood. A lot of these Amblin-esque type of movies where they're very much a grounded world, real characters dealing with real things, and then this supernatural element is introduced, and seeing characters deal with that. I love that tone, and that's what this was. So,
is that the feel you're going for, sort of a 80s Amblin?
Yeah, very much. I mean, at first it wasn't like I wasn't doing it on purpose. I just kind of found myself, gravitating towards that because that's just what I loved growing up, and it's totally appropriate, and it's the right vibe and the right tone for this movie.
How does L.R. Stine feel about being portrayed in the film and having Jack Black play him?
He's cool with it. We flew out to meet him early on in the process, flew out to New York and sat with him, and Jack got to hang out with him, and we just talked, and he's the nicest guy, and he'd read the different iterations of the script and was very familiar with kind of where we were at, and had given his blessing to it, and was really supportive and just answered our questions, and he's a great, nice man. He's super funny and loves comedy and horror, and kind of you can see how he's mixed the two together to make the book series. So,
was he on set?
He was on set. Yeah, he was on set.
Give some advice to Jack, like, Jack, I wouldn't do that.
No, he didn't do that. No, he's too cool to do that. No, he was on set, and he may or may not have a cameo in the movie, and was just really cool. I mean, he's been working on this thing for the 90s, and it's this huge phenomenon, and we're kind of entrusted to do it right, and so he was just really supportive.
I heard Jack's playing him with a sort of an Orson Welles tweak. How did you feel about that interpretation?
It was great. I mean, we talked about it a lot, of just having Jack find a character and make it grounded and real and menacing, and part of the arc of that character. At first you don't realize, you may think he's the bad guy at first, so he had to find a take on that, and then kind of turn a corner and befriend these kids that are along this ride with him. So it was a great way for him to sort of find the character.
This is the third time you've worked with Jack Black. What is it as a director that you like about collaborating and working with him as an actor and comedian?
He's awesome, and I'm a huge fan of his work, and especially on this one. He's a great guy to work with. He's awesome on set. He makes it very easy for me. We have a shorthand, so I get all that. But before we started this movie, he'd done that Richard Linklater film Bernie, which I thought was incredible.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing in it. The movie's awesome. He's amazing in the film. And so, I don't know, I got really lucky, like, having seen that and just that he was willing to kind of take on this thing and do something interesting with it and find a character. It was cool. I was glad he was willing to go there. It was fun.
Tell me about the creatures in the movie, and what creatures from which books did you sort of pick and choose to put into this film that fans can expect?
I don't know if I can tell you that. I honestly don't.
Well, tell me this: how did you decide which ones to use?
Money? No, just kidding. We went through the most memorable ones and the ones I sort of felt like I could do justice. Like, not all the books have creatures in it, but I went through the catalog of monsters. I mean, there's so many, and just tried to figure out ones that would work cinematically, and there's a lot. I mean, there's just a lot of them.
You should sort of mention this, but what's the sort of responsibility that you feel to fans to kind of, obviously this is different than the books, but to give them an interpretation, to give them the Goosebumps movie that they want to see?
Yeah. Well, there's a big responsibility. I don't want to mess it up. They've sold 400 million copies of these books. I mean, there's a lot of fans out there. We want to do it right. And part of it is it's the good news for us is the movie isn't one of the books, so it's like its own book. But the tone and the spirit of it has to be right, and the construct of how how R.L. Stine wrote those books is very similar to how we laid out the map of this story, and then all the creatures, all the monsters, all the things from the books that appear in the movie. We had teams of people studying those descriptions in the books and making sure we were spot on with the paint color on things. So we did our best to do that. We tried to make the things original for the film, but at the same time feel like they're from that Goosebumps universe.
So a lot of attention to detail.
A lot of attention to detail. A lot. Yeah. I mean, it was an incredible task to manage all those. Any one of these things rightfully could be its own movie, and we have dozens of them. I mean, it's amazing.
So going forward, if the film's successful and sequels were to happen, would it be a continuation of the story you've set up in this film world, or would there be a possibility of adapting a book? Is that something you'd be interested in?
I have no idea. I think it's a huge jinx to even think about stuff. Honestly, I don't.
Do you hate those questions? Because obviously, I'm not the first person to ask you that.
No, you're not. And I don't hate the question. I just have no good answer because I really don't. I get too nervous. I just want the movie to be good. And I literally finished shooting it 2 days ago. So it's so early on, and we haven't even edited it together.
We should figure out a good answer for the rest of today. I mean, I think you should just say it's none of your business.
No.
I'll do a sequel when I'm ready. It's none of your business.
No, the true answer is you don't think about that, and there is no sequel unless the first movie is good. Period. I mean,
so you still have post-production all ahead.
I have a whole year.
Yeah.
We have a year to go.
Yeah.
There's enormous amount of visual effects in the movie. I mean, it's just, we have this amazing visual effects company, MPC, out of London. They're one of the top visual effects companies in the world, and it's going to take them a long time to put all this stuff together. We have to edit the film, and it has to be good.
So what's your post-production process? As you're going along, do you have your editor putting together a rough cut? Do you have something assembled already, or is it still far away?
Well, we assemble, my process on this movie was to assemble as I shot, so I could figure out, did I get it right? Do I need to go back? It's just, I really want to do that on this film because it's very complicated, and there's a lot of scenes where the actors are acting to nothing.
Had you not done that before on previous films?
I have, which is why I made sure this time around this is the way to do it. So we start editing the week after next, and we're just going to sit in there and put it all together and just start chipping away, and we have to turn sequences over to the visual effects guys. They have to send it back to us. We have to re-edit that. I mean, it just becomes a very long long process.
Well, you get into the trenches and get it going, and congratulations and best of luck with post-production. Thanks.